March daily, your obedience triggered this. Yes, your obedience triggered this. And what you are seeing now did not begin today, but in a hidden moment you thought no one noticed. Stay with me, because I see what you endured. I witnessed the private surrender, and I am about to show you how that quiet yes set something eternal into motion. You thought obedience was just you surviving another day. You thought it was just you biting your tongue, closing the door, walking away, swallowing the pride, deleting the message, ending the relationship, resisting the temptation, forgiving the offense, showing up to pray when you felt nothing. But I tell you now, your obedience triggered this. The peace you feel forming, the shift in atmosphere, the subtle but undeniable change around you. It did not happen by accident. It was activated the moment you chose me over your feelings. I saw the internal battle. I saw how difficult it was to let go when everything in you wanted to hold on. I saw you choose integrity when compromise would have been easier. I saw you trust my timing when impatience burned in your chest. You believed you were just enduring silence. But heaven was not silent. Heaven was responding. When you obeyed me in what felt small, you aligned yourself with what is eternal. Obedience is not about rules. It is about agreement. And the moment you agreed with my will, you positioned yourself under my protection and within my provision. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you call loss, I call redirection. What you call silence, I call construction. I was building something that required your cooperation. And you cooperated, even with trembling hands. A trembling obedience carrying more power than bold rebellion ever could. You do not understand how rare your obedience was in that moment. Many walk away when they do not see immediate reward. Many quit when they do not feel immediate confirmation. But you stayed. You trusted. You obeyed without applause. And because you did, doors that were locked by timing have begun to loosen. Circumstances that seem frozen have begun to thaw. The shift you are sensing is not coincidence. It is consequence, the holy consequence of surrender. I needed your yes to authorize movement in areas you could not see. I do not force destiny upon a resisted heart. But when you yielded, when you whispered, I trust you even though this hurts, you gave me room to move. And I move intentionally. I move strategically. I move with precision. Your obedience did not disappear into the air. It rose before me like incense, and I responded. Even now, you may still question whether it truly mattered. Let me settle that doubt. It mattered more than you know. The breakthrough forming did not begin with visible signs. It began with invisible alignment. You aligned yourself with me, and alignment always precedes acceleration. What is unfolding now is the early evidence of something greater still in motion. Stay with me, because what you thought was the end of something was actually the ignition point. And while you were wondering whether anything was changing, I was already rearranging what you could not see. The moment your obedience triggered this, movement began in realms your eyes have never touched. You thought the story paused. I tell you it progressed. You thought the silence meant inactivity. I tell you it meant strategy. Because when you obeyed me, you did not simply follow an instruction. You activated alignment. And alignment releases orchestration. There are connections forming because of your surrender. There are conversations happening about you in rooms you have never entered. There are delays being lifted, not because you forced them but because you trusted me through them. I do not waste obedience. I weave it. I thread it through timelines, through relationships, through opportunities, until what once looked like isolation becomes divine positioning. You did not see the protection wrapped around that no you spoke. You did not understand the blessing hidden inside that closed door. But I did. When you stepped back from what would have compromised you, I stepped forward to defend what concerns you. When you released what you thought you needed, I began preparing what you truly require. Your obedience created space, and I filled it. That discomfort you felt, it was the sound of chains weakening. That loneliness you endured, it was the clearing of ground for something more secure. That confusion you wrestled with, It was me rerouting you away from unseen harm. The shift around you now is not random. It is the echo of that earlier surrender. I have been aligning timing, refining hearts, softening resistance, and clearing paths long before you noticed the change. Understand this: obedience is not about earning my favor. You already have my love, but obedience positions you to experience what I have already prepared. When you obeyed, you stepped into rhythm with my will. And when you move in rhythm with me, acceleration becomes possible. The reason certain burdens feel lighter now is because they were never meant to stay. The reason clarity is beginning to surface is because confusion was never your destination. What you are sensing is momentum. What you are stepping into is the early unfolding of something I set in motion the day you said yes. And this movement has not finished. It has only begun to reveal itself. Look closely at what is happening around you. The peace that feels steadier, the doors that are cracking open, the unexpected confirmations, the quiet confidence rising in your spirit. This is not coincidence. This is the harvest of your obedience. Your obedience triggered this. The breakthrough you hoped for did not suddenly appear out of nowhere. It grew from the soil of surrender you planted earlier. Seeds always look small when they enter the ground. They look buried. They look forgotten. But beneath the surface, life is forming. And your yes was a seed. Your restraint was a seed. Your faith when you felt nothing was a seed. I have been tending to what you planted. I have been watering what you entrusted to me. And now, you are beginning to see the first signs of growth. You proved that you could trust me in obscurity, and now I can trust you with visibility. You honored me in the private place, and now I'm honoring you in the open space. The reason favor feels closer is because alignment brought you into proximity with purpose. The reason doors are opening is because your character matured in the waiting. You are not receiving random blessing. You are stepping into prepared promise. And what is unfolding now will confirm that nothing you surrendered was wasted. Not the tears. Not the restraint. Not the nights you questioned whether obedience was worth it. Every act of faith strengthened foundations you could not see. Every moment of surrender reinforced a structure I was building around your future. Do not shrink back now. The same obedience that triggered this will sustain what comes next. Stay aligned. Stay surrendered. Stay attentive to my voice. Because what you are walking into requires the same trust that brought you here. I am not finished with you. I am expanding what you can carry. I am increasing what you can steward. And as you continue to walk with me, you will look back and realize that the turning point was never the visible breakthrough. It was the quiet moment you chose obedience over comfort. But with the ignition, this is the unfolding. And what I begin through obedience, I complete through faithfulness.